Okay, so this isn't a science class, and usually the solar system and astronomy is part of part of science, not social studies or geography. But in order to have a really strong understanding of world geography, it's important to understand why we even have geography and just how amazing it is that we're able to exist where we are and how we are. And so everything in our solar system revolves around the sun. The sun is right at the middle. And every other celestial body is going to go around the sun. It's not the center of the galaxy or of the universe, obviously. There are many more galaxies besides ours out there. And many more solar systems in our own galaxy besides our own. But for our little neighborhood here in the solar system, it is the middle, the center. The first planet is Mercury, which is pretty small. It's right here. The second one is Venus, and it's about the same size as us. We're right here. And then Mars is over here, and Mars often gets mislabeled as being about the same size as Earth, but it's actually considerably smaller. Between Mars and Jupiter, there's this line of brown things. Those are supposed to be asteroids. That's the asteroid belt, and that's what separates the inner and outer planets from one another. The inner planets are all rocky. They have, like, you can land on them. I mean, I don't know why you would, I mean, Venus is mostly toxic gas, but I guess you could land there if you wanted to. But the outer planets are all gas planets. You can't land on Jupiter. There isn't a ground to land on. It's all made up of gas. Jupiter is our largest planet. It's still way smaller than the sun, but it's kind of hard to fathom a planet that's that much bigger than us, because, we think of the world as being kind of a big place because, in the grand scheme of things, we're teeny tiny, Saturn is next, and it's famous for having the rings. Uranus is after that, and Neptune is out here. And I never forget to include little Pluto out there. Team Pluto right here. Can't just take somebody's planet status away. I mean, Pluto had planet status for a long time, and Team Pluto. I am Team Pluto all the way. But what's really cool about where we're located is that if we were anywhere else in our solar system, nothing that we know about life would exist, because nothing would be able to exist on our planet. As far as we know, we are the only planet or any kind of celestial body in our solar system that is capable of supporting life. And that's because we live in what is known as the Goldilocks zone. If we were any further this way, it would be too hot. And if we were any further that way, it would be too cold. It's just like the Goldilocks and the Three Bears. The porridge, Papa Bear's was too hot, and Mama Bear's was too cold, and Baby Bear's was just right. And so that's why we call it the Goldilocks zone, because we're just right in between. And there's actually evidence that at one time, perhaps there was some life, or at least elements to support life on Mars. And that's because a long time ago, Earth was still too hot to support life. We had a lot of volcanic activity. Our planet hadn't settled down. It was still really new. Our whole solar system hadn't really settled down, and there were other planets and moons and things that were going around crashing into planets and colliding with each other, forming bigger planets or breaking up. And at that time, Mars was in the right location to support life. And there's, just like we have the idea of continental drift, there's also the expanding universe theory that all bodies in space are constantly moving away from each other. And that includes things in our own solar system. So Mars used to be in the Goldilocks zone, and over millions and billions of years, it has moved out of that zone, and now there's nothing left. It's like a barren wasteland. And one day we will also move out of that zone. And, will Venus be able to support life? Maybe, but it's got a lot of toxic gas in its atmosphere. So did we. We used to have that too. We can't really predict that. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But that's a brief overview of our solar system and just how cool it is that we're located where we are. And whether you believe that that's because of some big coincidence and Big Bang that happened, or whether you believe that it has a religious, element to it and God put us where we are, it doesn't, it still makes it it doesn't really matter. It's still equally cool either way that we exist where we exist and that we're able to have life on our planet. There will be a couple of questions about this presentation before you can move on to the next module, and I hope this video has been informative for you.